probably know. I know you have. I'm the new campus manager here at downtown LA in Pasadena. I basically get you guys information about, DAT, OAT, etc. I am not a teacher, but I'm going to be talking to you guys about sort of why Kaplan and sort of, when you guys do decide to take the DAT, like what type of process you guys should be going into. So, how many of you guys actually seen the DAT or taking it? I know all of you guys. That's why they're up here. But for those of you guys who haven't, I definitely recommend you guys maybe take a free practice test. We do offer practice tests online. There's at kaptest.com/practice. But it gives you a good idea ultimately to see where you're at. Maybe you've already scored in the 20 and up already. So let me tell you really quickly why you guys should take Kaplan. Well, first and foremost, we've been in the test prep industry for almost 70 years. We're one of the pioneers of test prep. Stanley Kaplan, he started based in New York, and he started a little company, and he's been doing it ever since. I'll tell you what, I've never been in a company with so many people who literally like taking tests. It's actually pretty interesting. But ultimately, when you are thinking about it, you're thinking about what to take, you're thinking about, what to do in terms of the DAT. Well, first and foremost, we get more students into dental programs than any other major course combined. That's according to Harris. We have options everywhere. When you actually think about taking the class, one thing is everybody has one goal to get into dental school, right? But everybody has different paths. And ultimately, everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. But we have something called a personalized learning or smart reports. Basically what it does when you do take a test, it breaks down the test for you and tells you what your strengths and weaknesses are. Based on that, it'll tell you how to improve on your course. Not only does it tell you how to improve, it actually gives you practice questions in terms of doing it. Out of the 3,000 practice questions that we have. Also, if you think about it, when you're actually going ahead and taking it, you want to think about taking it, and ultimately, let's say if you go to the class, take the test, you don't feel very comfortable, etc. We have something called our Harris Score Guarantee with your money back. If you go to the classes, you do all the work, let's say you don't feel comfortable, we give you a class again for free. If let's say ultimately you do take the test and ultimately you don't get the score that you want, we give you your money back. And the reason why is because we don't really deserve your service unless you get the score that you want. What I'd like to take this opportunity to do right now is sort of answer any questions you guys might have about our courses, about maybe the DAT, etc. Yes?
So about the giving your money back, say someone on average scores high based on national standards, but to them it wasn't the score they wanted. How do you determine what? Sure.
So ultimately, if you're not comfortable, we offer you again a free class. The reason why is because we want to get you the score that you want to get. We offer classes here at USC as well as at the Radisson. All of our teachers, like I mentioned to you before, have scored in the 90th percentile and above. Not only have they scored in the 90th percentile and above, we put them through rigorous training, ultimately, to be able to teach you guys the courses. Any other questions?
How much do your services cost?
So ultimately, you're having a couple options. The first option is, let's say you are the person who wants to take an on-site class. You essentially get 11 classes on-site. One of those sessions is going to be a diagnostic test. From there, you can kind of tell you, in terms of smart report, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and it basically allows our teachers to know, how to improve in terms of helping you improve your score. We also have something called our Anywhere class. Ultimately, let's say if you, don't want to come on campus at night. It's the same thing you ultimately would get in terms of our on-site class. The big difference, though, is that you're ultimately taking it online with actual TAs as well as a presenter, and you're going through all that sections. It's just being able to go in the comfort of your own home. And then finally, we have something called our on-demand class. Now, let's say if you're like a night owl, and let's say you don't want to come on campus, and you want to go at your own pace. It ultimately goes at your own pace, but you're still getting the 3,000 practice questions, those 6 full-length exams. You're ultimately getting 800 pages of review notes, etc.
What resources do you provide for your for the people who are taking this?
Resources in terms of
do you give books or
sure.
Any kind of studying?
So you do get your books in terms of the overall course, but you're also getting, like I mentioned to you, those 800 review notes, go over all this bio, those types of questions, as well as we have something called a question bank. And basically what it is it diagnoses you through the SMART reports, and ultimately, when you do break it down, you're also getting the 5 full exams, as well as diagnostic, but you're also getting an opportunity to make your own tests. So ultimately saying, you know, figuring out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and working on those weaknesses to ultimately push your score up. Any other questions?
Yeah. So do you guys, are you guys flexible in terms of like scheduling?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do, like I said, we do have courses on campus here, as well as in the surrounding LA area. But we, like I said, if you don't have a course in here that might not fit, we also have other options such as our Anywhere course. And let's say if you don't feel like you don't feel coming on campus, the on-demand options definitely a good option for you.
Is it suggested to take this like before your first time or after you've already taken the test before?
So definitely you want to take it before your first time, or else you're going to have a bad score initially, possibly. You know, ultimately what I recommend you to do is obviously take a free practice test just to see what level you are. But then actually, you know, if that is something that you do decide in terms of taking the test, I do recommend you to, you know, sort of prep for it.
How long before the DATs should we start this?
So generally it will take about 3 months for you to prep. So you know, you're looking at that before your application process.
You were talking about a guarantee on the score that you want, and if we don't meet, if we don't get that score, then
Sure.
we'll get our money back for the
Yep.
instruction that we paid for.
So in terms of our money back guarantee, let's say you go to all the classes like I mentioned to you, you do all the work, let's say you get the score that you didn't want, and that could include a very high score. Ultimately, we will give you your money, we will give your money, not your money back, your repeat for the class. Now let's say if you do get a score that's below your diagnostic score, then we will give you your money back. Does that make
Oh,
sense?
your diagnostic score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the score that you get on your diagnostic
Your first
test.
test, basically.
Okay. So it's not really the score that you want, is it?
You get a repeat for the score that if you don't, for any reason, you get a repeat.
Okay.
Yeah, so ultimately what I like to say is that obviously I'm not a teacher. I am the campus manager here. So I mean, if you guys do have any questions about our courses, etc., you know, please feel free to reach out to me. But if you know you guys are interested in the workshop, we do have workshops online as well as workshops on campus that we actually have our specific teachers on campuses, on this campus specifically, to be able to teach you. So if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me after this. Thanks.
Thank you.